recording on this? Yeah. That one's ours.
Okay.
Yeah. So what do you know about the
Well,
house?
I just found out about it at like 10 o'clock today. This is my boyfriend's grandfather's house.
Okay. Are you okay if we film you here?
Absolutely. He
Okay.
owns, his grandfather owns the home. So we went to like a witch's grave, you know, it's Halloween time and
Okay,
stuff.
sure.
So he said, well, you know, my grandfather's house, and then he said a couple of years ago there was a company that, you know, was renting out, doing tours and things
yes.
like that. And he said, I don't think they do that anymore. So he hopped online and saw that there was people still doing things with this 2 years ago or a year ago or so. So we did a little more research and we saw there was something going on last weekend. So he's like, oh, there's still a company that must be renting it out. So I watched a couple videos and he said, well, I'll call my mom.
Uh-huh.
So he called his mom, and actually the grandfather, he's in the hospital right now, he's got cancer. He's on chemo pills and got some things going on. So we took him to the hospital today, and it's just kind of strange how this all came together. So yeah, he's in the hospital. I just found out about this house today, and I'm kind of a skeptical. So I said, well, I'd like to go see it. So we ditched my two friends. They wanted to go to the bar. I didn't. He doesn't want to come in, and I said, I do.
Okay.
So he drove me out here. So I'm here.
So how come he doesn't want to come in?
He came in, the last time he was in, he was 9. He said that he came in the house, and the second he walked in, he felt unwanted. Those were his words. He felt unwanted. Still being 9, he said he came up the stairs and he came to one of these windows. I don't know if there's a window here or if there's one over here.
There's one
There
above
is-
here.
Yeah, they're kind
Okay.
of boarded up right now.
Oh, chills. He said he came to the window and he looked over 40. I think is that the highway? Is
Yes.
that 40? Okay. And he said that he was in an empty room, and he has never felt like he was in a room so full of people. He said it felt crowded.
Yes.
And like I have chills right now just
I
telling
do
you
too,
that he
because
said
we
this.
felt the same way earlier
Yeah.
tonight.
He said it felt crowded, and he said even as he came back down the stairway, he felt, you know, almost like he was being pushed out of the home.
Yeah.
And that was 9, and it was the last time I mean, even driving me here, he was willing to go to the witch's grave. He saw all about this stuff, but
Yeah,
he would
but
not
not
come back
come in.
in this home. Nope.
Yeah,
Say
that's funny
hello.
that you say that he thought there were so many people up here,
Yeah.
because we were up here earlier and that's what it felt like to us too. That there
Yeah.
were so many different spirits.
That's what he said too. He just said it felt crowded. It was a room
Yeah.
full of people.
Yeah.
Those were his words. Is this the
That's
only
cool.
room upstairs that faces 40?
This is the only room upstairs.
And this is it? Wow.
Yeah. This is it.
And this is the corner where Karen was standing by a window.
Yeah, she was. And we have a K2 meter which lights up,
Yeah.
and it was going off like all the time.
Wow. Well, he was telling me the story about the last uncle that lived here.
Okay.
I don't remember names. I don't know what the last uncle was. His last uncle that was living here, apparently there's a bedroom downstairs that everybody has had trouble with, and that's where the uncle had a couch, and that couch that he slept on isn't back there in the barn now. But
Yeah.
what he said was his grandpa showed up one day, and his uncle didn't look. He didn't look right. And so the grandpa said to his uncle, like, hey, are you okay? And he said, no, I'm not. They haven't left me alone for 5 days and I haven't been able to sleep. And his grandpa said, you know, who? And his uncle said, you know, I mean, the spirits, I can't sleep. So he was 5 days of, you know, insomnia.
Right.
Yeah. So I could do without that story.
So why do they think this house is haunted?
I don't know. I don't know the backstory. I don't. Marshall had said something about that they've known of 3 people have died in the home.
Oh.
But I mean, that happens in a lot of homes, so I
Right.
don't know why this one is different from any other.
Hmm.
And why there would be that many spirits for just a few people.
Right.
You know, for 3 people dying in the home. That's hard to say.
Yeah. So you're the grandson of the owner?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My name's Marshall.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, do you mind if we ask you a few questions?
No,
Well, they've been asking them.
Well, I asked it for obvious reasons. I'm trying to look real
Cindy
quick.
probably has it on agenda.
When it was last, when we bought it,
He said the original owners died in the house.
I think.
He thinks.
Yeah, they're pretty sketchy about the history, so we don't really know a whole lot.
You should write a book.
Really?
So I mean, really, whatever you can tell us would be great.
How old were you when the last time you were in that house was?
I was 9, so it's been 21 years since I've been inside this house.
Wow.
Now, your girlfriend was telling us what you thought about that second floor.
Yeah. I don't like
You
the
guys,
upstairs.
tell them. I don't know. Whatever she told us was really interesting.
So I told those guys, but last time I went in there, I felt like the upstairs was full of people. Like it was really loud in there, even though it was dead quiet and there was nobody up there.
Yeah.
It just felt really uncomfortable, and I felt really unwelcome in the first floor.
Did you guys tell them that when we were up there, that's what it felt like to us? That there was like a whole bunch of spirits up there. So we were getting.
I didn't. I wasn't up there.
Oh, you
with
weren't
guys.
up
I
there.
was
That's
in the
right.
camper. when we did
Because we had 2 K2 meters on either side and either side of the room, and they were both going off. We got various voices over the spirit box. It felt like there was a lot of different spirits up there.
So the earliest date I can find is when they transferred it out of my great grandparents' estate into my grandpa's estate, and that was in 2009. And GIS doesn't have any more recent property transfers. They've had it a lot longer than that, though.
The 1990s, is that what you said?
2009.
2009.
Oh, 2009.
Yep.
What was your grandfather's name?
Great grandfather's name was Lauren Peters, and he was married to Cecil.
Lawrence is-
And Cecil, she was the first female sheriff's deputy for Hancock County. Damn, I wish I could come back further.
So why do you think this place is haunted?
So, like I was telling them, there's been 4 or 5 groups of our family that's lived in it. My Uncle Chuck's lived in it, my cousin Bobby, and several others. Experiences of this weird stuff going on. I don't know details of all the stories, but basically anytime you get the family together for like Christmas or Thanksgiving, a lot of times they'll sit around and tell all the weird
Yeah.
stuff that's happening, because somebody will bring it up.
Do they have
So-
any idea why they think there would be something going on here?
Like
Or-
what would have
I mean,
caused
like,
it?
like history
Yeah.
that would cause, like
Yeah,
that
like
they
what
heard.
would have caused
So I'm
it?
sure if you think that if you're living in this house and you think something's happening, the first thing that I would do is research the property and try to figure out
Figure
did
out what
somebody
started it.
die,
I
did
got
somebody
you.
else claim that there was a spirit or possession here? Because we actually heard from the girl that walked the place with us that there's been like at least 2 occasions where people thought that they were possessed, started to becoming possessed with an evil spirit,
Yeah.
and they had to they were kind of like boggled by it.
Yep, I've heard that myself. I'm pretty certain at least 3 people have died in the house, but I would have to
Any
find
of
out
your
who.
relatives or before that?
No, I don't think any of my relatives have. But maybe before that, I think it was the owner that owned it before our family did, and then the original owners. I think they died in it as well.
Do you know who the original owners are?
I don't. I need to. Like I was telling him,
The funny thing is, nobody does.
Right. Why is that?
I don't know, because they didn't keep records, I guess.
I'll try to ask my grandma and grandpa. I should see him this week.
Yeah.
So you won't go back in the house?
No.
No.
No, I heard too much about it.
Your girlfriend seemed quite eager to go in there. She's in there by
Let's
herself.
go get her, man.
She's in there by herself right now.